A Moment with Tyranny podcast. This episode and conversation is powered by Homes with Tyranny. Hey, 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 it's a Moment with Tyranny podcast. We're here today and I have a guest with us and we're going to talk on a really interesting topic that right now a lot of people have really been asking about and you're seeing it everywhere. And our topic today is going to be fasting and what you should know about it. All right, guest, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, hello, hello. My name is Eric, Terry's boyfriend, and I'm glad to be on board.
All righty, all righty. So what we're going to do is we're going to get right into it. You know, we're always got an interesting topic, and we're just going to go on. Fasting is something that Eric has been doing for a while, and I've been trying to jump on board. I'm not as successful as he is, but I do understand it. So we're just going to go in and get started. And Eric, tell us a little bit about actually what got you into fasting, your journey, and what it is that you actually do. How do you fast?
All right. So what started me? Let me start from the beginning. I found I'm a diabetic. So going to the doctor told me at some point in time I did start getting insulin injections, and I'm like, I was not too thrilled about that. So I started looking around on the internet and all sorts of places, and I discovered something called fasting. I said I might as well try this. What do I have to lose? So fast forward, I dropped my A1C from about a 10 to about a 7 in about a 4-5 month period, and I'm like, oh, this really works for me. So that's how I really got started. And since then, I'm always reading about it, always trying to keep up with it. So that's about my story.
Oh, wow. Okay. And you were talking about the A1. What is the A1 exactly? When?
So A1C is a blood test. It's a blood glucose average for 3 months in your blood that they test to see whether you're diabetic or not. So 7.1 is they consider that well controlled with medication. I was at about a 10 or a 12, which was really, really, really bad, which was why the doctors wanted me to go onto insulin. I didn't really want that.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, and again, let's just say the disclaimer, we're not doctors. We're not telling you what to do, what not to do. If you're under the care of a doctor and they're telling you to do something, we're not telling you not to follow their instructions. We're just giving you real life experiences that we've experienced and hope that it's helpful for someone out there. So I just have to put that disclaimer out there. We're not medical doctors. We're just sharing our real life experiences. So you started with fasting, and tell me, what steps did you take to get into your fasting? I mean, and what were the struggles of it, you know?
So again, initially I found something because they're talking about intermittent fasting, which means you eat for some time, you don't eat for some time. And they have different ways of doing it. You can do 12 hours of not eating, 12 hours of eating, and you can keep on moving 12 to 16 to 18 and so on and so forth. So that's how I started. So I would skip breakfast and make it to lunchtime. I'm like, oh, okay, that's not too bad. So I went further. I go until 2 o'clock. I'm like, okay, I'm still surviving. Okay, let me try a day. So the first time I tried a 24-hour fast, I didn't think I was gonna make it, but I was surprised that I did. So that actually spurred me on to even try a 3-day fast. I've done like 4 3-day fasts. I've done a 1 5-day fast.
Wow.
And that's just actually how I started.
Oof, I don't know if I can do a 5-day. I'd have done the 3-day fast with you, but it's like, woo, 5 days is like not eating is kind of, it could be kind of a struggle. So when you're on your fast days, what is it? Give us an example of what is a fast day for you. I mean, do you eat anything at all? Do you drink anything at all? I mean, what is it that you do on your fast days?
So for me on my fast days, I do what they call water fasting. So I drink water, and also I try to do some sea salt as well, because when you're fasting you lose something. So you need to replenish your, I think it's you lose minerals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I try to make sure I'm getting my sea salt, and I'm making sure I'm drinking water. That's how I fast. That's a little more strict Some people say like you can do, or actually like what I've started now, I actually start taking tea as well. They say you can take tea or you can also take coffee. I don't like coffee, so I'll take a black tea. And that's what helps me get over. So I mean, I can still do a 24-hour fast pretty easy, but since I haven't done it in a while, the 3-day fast is getting tricky again. I need to get back on it. Yeah.
So when you're fasting, so it's not saying that you can't put absolutely nothing in your mouth. So you can drink. You can drink like lemon water, or you can drink a black tea, not with sugar or anything in it, just black tea, black coffee, or I said black tea, but just tea with nothing in it if you need that flavor to get you through the day. The other thing that I learned when just going with you and going through fasting, I learned that people are like, oh my God, they're thinking 14 hours, 12 hours, 16 hours, but they have to realize that their sleep time is actually counting towards that fast time. So you were breaking down the hours for me, like, if I'm trying to do a 16-hour, what would be like, if I know that I like to eat, say that I like to eat my breakfast at 8 o'clock. Give me an example of what would be a 16-hour fast.
So 8 o'clock is 8 hours after midnight. So all you have to do is if you ate at 4 o'clock the day before, that gives you 8 hours to midnight, 8 hours in the morning. There's your 16 hours. So if you have an early dinner, if every day you eat dinner at 4 o'clock and you have breakfast at 8, there's your 16 hours right there. So it's not really that high. Just all you do is just adjust. So you're eating your dinner a little earlier. So eating at 6 or 7, you're eating at 4.
Yeah. And if we do have, you have to feed the kids or something like that, eat about 6 o'clock, right? Eat at 6 o'clock and don't eat again until...
And have your breakfast at 10.
At 10 o'clock, yeah, And if you're trying to get past that little first morning thing, get you some black coffee or get you some tea or drink some lemon twist water, something like that to get you to your 10 o'clock part, your 10 o'clock time. I found that was easier for me to try to sip on something in the morning because I'm a Starbucks junkie. No plug, but anyway. And, it was really hard for me not to do that. And I'm a sugar head too. But so what happens with your body? Tell us about the fasting. What is it that your body starts to experience?
So the idea behind it is you're giving your body time to recover. So the first 8 to 10 hours, you're using up like from the last meal. You have glucose going around your body. You can only store so much in your body. So you're going to use that up pretty quickly, 4, 5, 6 hours. Then you store some glucose in your liver as well. You'll use that maybe from hour 7 to hour 14. Then around there, you now start, your body is now you've run out of glucose. At this point in time is when you start burning fat. And so that is really helpful. Because your insulin is getting lower. Every time you have no glucose in your body, your insulin is getting lower. So, and for me, that was the most important part. I was trying to lower my insulin. My insulin was too high. That's why my blood sugar was too high. My insulin was too high. I was trying to get that down. But then I found out as when my insulin started getting down, not only did my blood sugar get low, I started losing weight too. So that was, I'm like, okay, that's double.
Yeah.
I can work with that.
Yeah.
And so then again, so after about, now you start going into something they call ketosis, when your body is actually burning your fat. That's now you're really getting into the good stuff. About 24 hours into your fast, 24 hours, you get into something called autophagy, when now your body is cleaning up. Think about your body is cleaning up all the broken proteins and everything, because now your body is foraging for anything it can use to eat. And that means it starts to repair itself. So usually when you're eating, your body doesn't have to look for, doesn't have to repair broken stuff because it doesn't need it.
Yeah.
Especially we eat every 2, 3, 4 hours.
Yeah.
So your body never ever gets a chance to break down the old broken down proteins and use them.
Yeah.
So the longer you don't eat, the more you give your body chance to get all that cleaned up.
Yeah.
And which is just great.
Yeah. And so with the fasting part, so I've been hearing how healthy it is and how good it is for us to fast. And people, we have the Daniel fast where we make sure we get rid of a lot of the heavy stuff, but we restrict our bodies to certain things. So there's different types of fasting that we can do. So if you are trying to lose weight, IF fasting can be a good thing for you. If you have like some types of ailments or things that are in your body that's not so well, fasting can help to try to what is it, like regenerate or rebuild those cells, those damaged cells and stuff. And that's what happens when we start to fast. And I started reading about that as well. So fasting really is a good thing. And the longer you can fast, the better it is. But we're not saying don't go to the extreme and do it, because that's a whole nother situation. But if you can do like the other things like 1 meal a day, some people do those fastings where they know that they want to eat and they'll go all day long, and they may eat a really big, I'll call it a brunch or a midday meal, like around 2 or 3 o'clock. They'll eat a really heavy meal, but then they go into their fasting. I've heard a lot of people say they're successful with that because they get everything that they want to eat, and then they just kind of keep going. Now, when you're fasting, let's talk about how do you break your fast? Because I know that's very important that when you're coming off of a period of fasting, you don't want to go and overindulge. So let's talk about how do you break a fast?
So let's first talk about overindulging. So what happens is, if you overindulge, you're usually going to end up with, you're going to be sick to the stomach. It's really, it's going to be tough on you. So what you really want to try and do is, don't eat as many carbohydrates. Don't eat all the carbohydrates you can get. So don't break your fast with donuts. And try lean meats. Try veggies. Try a chicken. Try a broth. That's what I try. And then try and break yourself back into it. So something light, and then you can try, and maybe an hour later you can now go and pig out on the burger that you
Something
want.
a little bit heavy, but,
yes.
But breaking it, make sure that it's a light break.
Make sure it's a light break, yes.
Fruits, I've been told, like maybe fruit or a light salad.
And even if it's fruits, you really want to try things like more fruits like berries, which don't have a high glycemic index. Because again, you don't want to shock your system. Your system has been doing well, it's not been getting carbs, and suddenly you shock it, you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah. And one thing about fasting, because I hear some people they'll go on a fast and they'll do the fast for like 2 days, and they're like, oh, I haven't lost any weight, or I haven't done anything, and I don't really feel a difference. It's not going to happen overnight. You have to make it. You have to be consistent with it, correct?
It has to be. So here's what's going to happen. Sometimes you may be lucky and lose water weight, but you really haven't lost weight.
Yeah.
Because as soon as you start eating, everything else comes back.
Yeah.
So you may do it for 2 days, and then yay, look at me, I lost 3 pounds.
Yeah.
And then you wake up the next day and wait, what a moment, I just gained back 2.5 pounds.
Yeah.
I just gained back my 3 pounds. So again, like you said, it just takes time. 1 meal a day, even if you're doing a 16-8, you have to give it time. Give it a month.
Yes.
Give it a month, see what happens.
Yeah.
It's not going to, again, most of us didn't get this way in
overnight,
it's
in 3 days.
It's a 3-day thing, so it gets really
Are
hard.
you sure I didn't get this way in 3 days?
And that's so just like for me, losing weight was not my primary focus.
Yes.
For me, it was really, I was trying to get I don't like medication.
Yes.
So I'm trying to get off my diabetes medication.
Yes.
The doctor, like I said, the doctor threatened me with insulin injections. I'm like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah.
I found out high blood pressure. Again, insulin could be a cause of that.
Yeah.
And there's just so many other issues that high insulin in the body just is not good for. So for me, it was a health thing. But the weight loss, I'm like, oh, this works too. So
yeah, so that's a good thing. And I have a friend that is actually doing IF, and I believe in 6 weeks or 8 weeks, she's lost 40 pounds. And she has cut back on her sugars, and she does exercise. So, it's not as to fix. Some people can lose weight with doing fasting without really a lot of exercise, but their life is very busy, so that's why they don't miss it. But if you do a lot of sitting around and stuff, you're going to have to get up and move and do things. And, and moving and doing things will also help you get through your fasting time period. So, but it is, I know of several people that are very successful in their fasting journey. So I just wanted to share this because there's a lot of people out there, they're not liking what their body's looking like. A lot of people in their health journey, from going to the office and running around and doing stuff with the kids, now they're at home all the time, so they've gained weight, their blood pressure's up. Now they're finding that they're now being diagnosed as diabetics, and and they're like, oh, what can I do? And they want to get some weight off. And IF is intermittent fasting is a good way of doing things if somebody's interested in it. So what kind of advice would you give someone, Eric, if they're thinking about taking this journey? How to start? What should a day look like? How to come off of a day? Just kind of a overview of what kind of advice would you give someone?
So for me, I think the easiest way is take it step by step.
Mm-hmm.
Don't start a 3-day fast.
Yes.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yes.
Instead of eating at 8, eat at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Have breakfast the next day. Try that for a couple of days. See how you feel.
Yeah.
Then try eat at 6. Don't have breakfast when you wake up. Take 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So just keep on increasing your time.
Yes.
Do that for 2 days. Do that for 3 days. Maybe you're doing 14 hours. Just continue. Go until where you're comfortable.
Yes.
Some people are comfortable at 16.
Mm-hmm.
16 is going to work. Some people more comfortable at 18.
Yes.
Some people can do 2, can do 20. People can do a day. There are people who even do alternate day fasting. They eat one day, they don't eat the next. So again, it's up to you to find out where you're comfortable.
Yeah.
And also it depends on what your goals are.
Yes.
So,
And you just said something. So, and honestly, when you're doing fasting, you don't have to do a fast every day. You can do every other day, or you can do 3 days a week, or you just kind of set your time. So that is something, a way of getting started is try to fast one day and eat the next 2 days. Fast the third or fourth day and eat the next 2 days. I know that's how we started. That's how it started out with me before I got to the full 3-day. It was like I would fast on Monday, and then Tuesday and Wednesday I would eat. I would fast on Thursday. And then Friday, because we know the weekend's coming, I'm going to eat. So Friday and Saturday I ate, and then I would fast on Sunday. And it got easier for me to have those full 24-hour fasts. And I didn't even think about food. And then, here come that 3-day fast. Now, and I'll be honest, the first day was really hard. The second day, around half the day, it became very easy. I wasn't thinking about the food. I wasn't even thinking about drinking water. And then the third day was really easy. And you're right, when it was time to eat, when I ate, it was like, I got full really fast. Now, did I try to kill myself? I did. But my body, because, your stomach shrinks, I guess. What happens is stuff. So whenever I started eating, my body told me I was full before I was, I thought, my eyes was bigger than my belly. So, and I was like, okay, but it was really a healthy thing. So it was a good thing. And that's where I've been kind of going and doing and trying to get back on it. You've been very consistent. I see it. You've lost a lot of weight, and you've been a real encouragement. We've even gotten my mom to do some fasting and on her journey. So that's a good thing. My sister's now actually joining in on a fast. So, you've been a good example for that. So again, what advice? I think I cut you off on that one.
no, again, but like I was saying, just start slow.
Start slow.
Just start slow and do it comfortably for you at the end of the day.
Yes.
Because you can't do my journey, I can't do yours.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people will do 3 days easy.
Yes.
Some people will struggle doing 1 day. Some people struggle doing 16 hours.
Yes.
Just do what makes you comfortable.
And just start.
But the things just start.
Just start.
Yeah. Give your again. We're so used to eating every 3 hours.
Yeah.
It's just not good for you. Your body needs a break.
Yeah.
Your gut needs a break.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a good thing to do.
All right. Well, thank you, Eric. It's like a moment with tyranny. It's just a quick little plug in. Hope that this helps someone. You know that I always end my my podcast with a quote. So my quote today is, "He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything." That's by Arabian proverb. Oh, I can't even speak. I'm sorry. That's an Arabian Proverbs. And it says again, "He who has health has hope. And he who has hope has everything. So thank you all. If you haven't subscribed and you're not following A Moment with Tyranny podcast, please do so. Subscribe. Check me out on YouTube, Spotify, iHeart. I'm all on all those things. So look for us. And I thank you, Eric, for A Moment with Tyranny and your insight on fasting. And I really, really appreciate you.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you.